Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. I just came across this wild article here. Hold on, let me put it in the chat section here in case anybody wanna check it out. And that's the article to check it out in. And the first question that I will ask, how many of the poorest 20% of Americans are freedmen, aka Black Americans? That's the biggest question I want to ask. Because the most people who are on these government benefits and shit are white people. White people and fucking immigrants. And they're saying that the poorest 20% of Americans consume more goods and services than the national averages for all people in most affluent countries. And this after accounting for all income, charity, and non-cash benefits such as subsidized housing and food stamps. Just because you consume more goods and services doesn't make you rich. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out. This is how they masked poverty. These motherfuckers are slick. They use this shit to justify us freedmen for even being considered for getting reparations, y'all. These motherfuckers ain't slick. Oh, this it's nothing short of amazing here. It's nothing short of amazing. Because when you take away, when you don't count non-cash benefits and all this other shit, we should be poorer than most European nations, not richer. You know what I'm saying? And that's an indication that European nations get treated better than European nations treat their people better than America does its own people. Yeah, America is the poorest rich nation. It probably is the poorest rich nation in the world. At least it should be. At least it should be. Especially if you don't count all these non-cash benefits and shit. These motherfuckers be lying. I swear. This shit is never short of a fucking amazing. Yeah. There's some parts of America that does look like a third world fucking nation. Yeah. Uh-huh. And most of those areas is where black people live, yo. Shoot, we're more poor than the poor whites who live in the fucking rural areas. Shit. But nobody don't want to talk about that shit. Man, these motherfuckers think they motherfucking slick. I swear to motherfucking God, yo. This shit there's nothing short of amazing what these motherfuckers would do just to twist our fucking reality up. And then you got bootlickers like fucking Al Sharpton's ass batting for fucking Joe Biden with his stupid looking jackass looking motherfucker. Whatever the fuck he is. Shit. Fuck that nigga. Yeah, I'm on a little bit of a fucking rant today. This shit is fucking despicable. This shit is absolutely motherfucking despicable.
As I say, this is
Hold on. Yeah, this is it. Here we
a
go.
victory with no victory. It's a victory that you can talk about, but it's a victory you can't show me. So if
Mm-hmm.
you represent the NAACP and you're telling me about this great victory you won for me, when I look at you, I have to conclude that either you have been duped yourself or else you were trying to dupe me. Now, please understand, when it comes to Al Sharpton, he hasn't been duped. He's the one attempting to dupe us, and he's far from the only one. The Vote Blue, no matter who gang, is massive. Recently, an article was written by Politico in which they discussed the mass exodus of black staffers leaving the Biden administration. Now, this was a very well balanced article which gave not only the side of the staffers who are frustrated, but also gave the side of the White House's perspective via Karine Jean-Pierre, as well as former staffers like Cedric Richmond. And obviously, Jean-Pierre and Richmond downplayed the mass exodus because that's what they're supposed to do. And to whatever extent that this story gains any real traction, you can expect CNN and all of the other Democratic news networks to do the same. Now, we'll get into a little bit more of that later when we discuss Al Sharpton's response to this story. But what I want to do right now is highlight the voices of those who will go unheard amidst the black exodus occurring within the Biden administration. So let's take a moment to look through this article and hear what the current black staffers who are still in the Biden administration have to say. At least 21 black staffers have left the White House since last year or are planning to leave soon. Some of those who remain said it's no wonder why. They describe a work environment with little support from their superiors and fewer chances for promotion. The departures have been so pronounced that, according to one current and one former White House official, some black aides have adopted a term for them, Blacksit. The first big exit came in December when Kamala Harris' senior advisor and chief spokesperson Simone Sanders announced that she was leaving, ultimately for a gig at MSNBC. The reason for the departures may vary, but the totality of them has not gone unnoticed within the ranks, according to interviews with 9 current and former black White House officials. 3 black staffers who currently work in the White House and were granted anonymity because of fear of reprisal said that the exodus has hurt morale, compounding problems that exist elsewhere. They described an operation in which mentorship is hard to come by, and opportunity to move up the ranks of the tight-knit operation is exponentially rare. We're here and we're doing a lot of work, but we're not decision makers, and there's no real path towards becoming decision makers, said one of the current black White House officials. There is no real feedback, and there's no clear path of any kind of promotions. They brought in a ton of black people generally to start without ever establishing an infrastructure to retain them or help them be successful, said the third current black White House official. If there is no clear infrastructure of how to be successful, you become just as invisible in this space than you would be if you were not in it. So essentially what's being said here by this current black White House staffer is that the Biden administration essentially just brought in a bunch of black staffers as a symbolic gesture to present to black America and say, hey, look at what we've done for black people. My administration is so diverse, but when the staffers got there, they immediately became invisible and ignored. Now, here's the important part, and this right here is what is starting to give me a little hope, just a little, that black Americans are finally going to stand up to the Democratic Party and say, you will not take our votes for granted anymore. We refuse to continue voting for you and carrying water for you just so you can turn around and give us your behind a kiss once you get into office, while we sit back and watch you sign legislation and give billions of dollars to every other group to meet their specific needs. Elsewhere, however, there is frustration over how policy priorities are being communicated. A White House official noted that Biden and Harris have helped provide more support for HBCUs, use executive authorities to increase police accountability, and help black communities with increased investment and economic opportunity and projects through the infrastructure law. But privately, several staffers said there was a growing sense that some of the major issues important to black voters and lawmakers are being either unfulfilled or become less emphasized. Now listen to this direct quote right here. The issues that are highest priority for our community are no longer at the forefront of the administration's priority list, said the third black White House official. When 10 black people got killed at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, it's business as usual, and no one steps to say to you, are you okay? I'm going to read that one more time. The issues that are the highest priority for our community are no longer at the forefront of the administration's priority list, said the third black White House official. When 10 black people got killed at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, it's business as usual, and no one stops to say to you, are you okay? Wow. So when the anti-black racist Buffalo massacre occurred, the mood in the White House was business as usual. Translation: benign neglect is in full effect. As we speak, the George Floyd police reform bill is sitting on the floor somewhere collecting dust. The John Lewis voting rights bill is also sitting on the floor somewhere collecting dust. And what's crazy is that we didn't even ask for these things. That's what the Democratic Party gave you and said, hey, blacks, this is for you. Yet they haven't passed one of those bills into
This
law,
is for you,
despite
guys.
the Democrats controlling the presidency, the House, and the Senate. And when it comes to what the black grassroots have been demanding, the Biden administration said you can forget about it. The black grassroots demanded reparations, and Biden told you to kick rocks because he's going to give your reparations to the Hispanic community. After the Buffalo massacre, the black grassroots demanded an anti-black hate crime bill. But the Biden administration completely ignored it and told you to kick rocks once again because we're going to take this massacre and use it to push our gun control agenda, our internet censorship agenda, and our domestic terrorism agenda that they're going to turn around and use against people like you and me because according to the FBI, we are black identity extremists. Now let's hear some more from the black staffers that are still in the Biden administration.
They're the ones who written that goddamn manifesto.
On all the things that we promised,
not that fucking Buffalo shooter.
Not delivering on that front, but then we're not also delivering to the staff that came in on the basis of that promise, said the first of the current White House officials. People go home to their families or their communities, and what can they point to specifically? They can't even point to their own experiences as positive. You know, now is a perfect time to read off this tweet that I came across a couple of days ago by the brother Real Middle Child. He said ninjas swore on a stack of Bibles and Qurans that they would hold Biden accountable, and I haven't seen them do it yet. Prior to the election, the black elite swore it was going to be different this time, didn't they? They swore up and down that they would hold Biden accountable, swore on a stack of Bibles and Qurans. They've been quiet ever since Biden got into office. And here's one of those black elites, Al Sharpton, the man that told you that the Buffalo massacre wasn't just about black people, it's about everybody. Let's hear what he has to say about all this.
A number of African-American staffers who have departed the White House expressing frustration that their votes have been blocked. Now, let's be clear. This administration has
always
the first
been a bitch
African-American
ass
vice president. This administration has the first
I've been a fan of his
obviously
bitch
we have
ass.
Jean-Pierre right now is press secretary. There are some prominent black people in key posts,
Son of a
but
bitch,
there's been an exodus of
nigga.
staffers as well. The White House has pushed back on this, but
I'm gonna play
my
another one
colleagues
for
have
Al
spoken to a number of
Sharpton's
people who
ass
say
too.
like we felt like we were not getting a fair shake here. Our voices were not heard within the administration. What is your sense of that?
Well, let me say this. Not only do I give credit to this administration for the two you named, he has the first black Secretary of Defense.
Who gives a
Never
fuck?
had a black over the Pentagon. I mean, and Marshall Fudge. I mean, his cabinet. So at the top level, you have not had as many blacks as empowered as.
It's a lot of back dicks and pussies up in there, ain't it?
And I think one of the things that I read
Because it's black doesn't mean that it's good,
yes,
motherfucker.
with Cedric Richmond leaving because
Retarded
of
son
the
of a
concern
bitch.
about the midterm election, you do have people like Susan Rice who no one can question.
Fuck Susan Rice.
And people on staff like Trey Baker, who has won the confidence of a lot of us.
Fuck him too.
What you have not
Yeah.
seen with some of the blacks that have left is the Omarosa happened, where Omarosa left Donald Trump.
Fuck Omarosa.
So you don't see any of that. I think that there has been some staff.
Hey, that was Trump brought her in office, not Biden.
Access
Why you
to
talk
this
about her
administration and
anyway?
working with them, has not been
Hey,
in
Trump
any
brought
way
some
abated,
black people
but
to
I
the
do
White
think
House.
that they should
Make
be
it look like Trump ain't did
conscious
shit for
of
black
what some of
people.
the staff members said. And addressing
Biden sure ain't doing shit for black people. Fuck him. At least try to do something for black people.
Did talk on the phone.
Because Republican base won't allow him to do it.
The staffing being, I've seen.
Then again, he probably would have got himself hanged for trying to do something for black people. In this case, I see a president pushing the staff.
I think Biden is more passionate and committed than a lot of them can keep up with. And the same with Kamala Harris.
Understand, you will never get an honest take from Al Sharpton when it comes to holding Biden and the Democratic Party accountable.
He might as well suck Biden's dick while he had his goddamn house.
Members of the black elite to have the audacity to hold Obama accountable back when he was president. They kicked Tavis out of the Black Elite Club so fast, and Al Sharpton was the main attack dog on.
You know what? Big ups to Tavis Smiley. That's my nigga right there. Fuck Al Sharpton. Fuck the rest of these goddamn coons in the fucking media. Shit, fuck all them niggas. Tavis Smiley's my motherfucking nigga. At least he took a motherfucking stand. Yeah, I think he took that stand against Obama's ass when he was president. Big ups to him. A lot of black people didn't see it, but the black people used to follow Obama. I'm sure they're seeing it now. I'm sure they're seeing why Tavis Smiley did what he did. Big ups to Tavis Smiley. Yeah, much big ups to Tavis Smiley.
On Tavis's bumper.
Angry words have erupted between two African-American leaders over whether President Obama needs to do more to help the black community. It started when PBS commentator Tavis Smiley called out Al Sharpton and other leaders by name on the Tom.
Oh, Obama ain't black, by the way. He's definitely not a black American. We don't even know what the fuck country he was born in. So that whole birth certificate thing that he showed on the media, that shit was fake as fuck. Just to let y'all know.
Join her morning show for their recent rhetoric.
Over the past few weeks, a chorus of black leaders have started singing a new song. I must have missed that choir rehearsal, Jay, because I don't know the words to this new hymn. The president doesn't need a black agenda. He's not the president of Black America. He's the president of all America.
Bullshit.
In the discussion that followed, Tavis Smiley went even further in his criticism.
I'm telling you, this is the damnation of black people. We're going to slip down a slope into hell.
You damn right, like Jeremiah Wright said. God damn America. Shit. Big ups to motherfucking Reverend Jeremiah Wright as well, who served this motherfucking country. For a country don't give a fuck about his niggas ass. Shit. Yeah, I'm on a goddamn rant. Let me give Tyler Spotty his shine to speak.
If we start thinking that we can give any leader a pass on addressing black issues.
First of all, I lead a civil rights organization, Mr. Smiley, is a commentator. So when I'm in Washington now, meeting with people around the jobs bill, because I'm representing our organization. He is a commentator. So I think we're mixing apples and oranges. And I think he, as a commentator, has the right to do his commentaries. But I have to fight to get real concrete things done. Ben Jealous, the head of the NAACP, and Mark Marial, the head of the National Urban League, and me as head of National Action Network, have been working together. Dorothy Height with National Council Negro Women couldn't make it because of the blizzard. Because we are looking for deliverables. We're not just making commentaries or putting together productions.
Well, where are those deliverables? It's been 9 years since he said that, and I guarantee you, he nor anybody else in the Vote Blue No Matter Who gang can tell you what
that was an old MSNBC show.
All they can do at best is cite some phantom statistics that you never see carrying over into real life. This is what Malcolm X was talking about when he spoke on people like Al Sharpton that are always citing these phantom statistics as victories.
He ain't got no statistics, that's why.
Talk about, but victories that
he's a shit-looking motherfucker.
And with the Supreme Court, if the NAACP can tell me that they want a desegregation decision for me 10 years ago, but yet the schools haven't been desegregated. As I say, this is a victory with no victory. It's a victory that you can talk about, but it's a victory you can't show me. So if you represent the NAACP and you're telling me about this great victory you won for me, when I look at you, I have to conclude that either you have been...
You know what's funny? How the fuck did Malcolm X see all this shit? And it took most of us motherfuckers over 50 years to finally see this shit for what it is, yo. This is interesting. Goddamn, Malcolm. I wish you was here today, brother. But you know what? Your words will forever live on with us, bro. Goddamn. Rest in power, Malcolm X. Goddamn, brother. Shit. Damn. You see right through these goddamn bootleg looking motherfuckers and all these fake ass black motherfucking organizations. Shit. Woo. Wow. Big ups to Malcolm, goddammit. Let me have Malcolm finish what he got to say, goddammit.
Woo. Dupe yourself, or else you were trying to dupe me.
Now, please understand, when it comes to Al Sharpton, he hasn't been duped. He's the one attempting to dupe us, and he's far from the only one. The Vote Blue, no matter who gang, is massive, and it's up to us to counter their false narrative that are keeping our people mentally trapped politically, where we refuse to think for ourselves, so we vote Democrat by default year after year without getting anything in return for our votes, while people like Al Sharpton cite phantom statistics and symbolic gestures as proof of black progress. The Al Sharptons of the world are destroying us politically, so it's up to us to remove them by drowning them out with the truth. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to.
Woo! Big ups to TD Hip Hop Media. You know what? I know I usually don't have to do this, but I'm gonna end up having to do this again. Nah, I ain't gonna show that one. Oh, let me show this one. This is real short. Sky News Australia.
Well, 2 and a bit years in, are the lies of Joe Biden finally starting to catch up with him? With the American economy cratering, energy prices at record highs, watch out Australia, we're next, and no one believing that any of this is really simply the fault of Vladimir Putin or Donald Trump or racism or climate change or whatever the current thing is this week, maybe monkeypox. People are starting to look at the man who is, sorry, let me try this with a straight face, the man who is in charge of the Oval Office. That is to say, Joe Biden and indeed the entire intellectually bankrupt so-called elite leadership class that are propping him up. Here's an example of this. Now, the other day, Joe Biden wrote or signed off on or was told about after his nap an opinion piece appearing under his name in the Wall Street Journal. And in it, he wrote these words, quote, "A dozen CEOs of America's largest utility companies told me earlier this year that my plan would reduce the average family's annual utility bills by $500 and accelerate our transition from energy produced by autocrats." Well, not so fast. Even the Washington Post, which until very recently has been the modern-day corporate Pravda of the Biden administration, found this to be too much. Their fact checker, the reliably left-biased Glenn Kessler, awarded Biden's claims 4 Pinocchios, pointing out that there was no reference to the savings in the transcript of the meeting with the utility executives, nor in the readout either, and that, in fact, most of the cost reductions he's referring to come from the reduced cost of driving and are expected to kick in around 2030 when Biden will be out of office and will probably not be allowed to drive anymore anyway. Anyway, in the meantime, though, high energy prices are actually a feature, not a bug for Joe Biden and the Democrats. Have a look at this.
When it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, will be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over. This is going to be a haul. This is going to take some time.
Yeah, it'll be a hole, all right. But anyway, if he's not lying about big things, Joe Biden is lying about small things. And again, the lies are starting to catch up with him. Have a listen to Joe Biden addressing the U.S. Naval Academy graduation recently, where he made a pretty big claim.
I was appointed to the Academy in 1965.
Really, Mr. President, you were appointed to the prestigious U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis in 1965. Well, right, except there's no records that anyone could find of this thus far. Joe Biden's 2008 autobiography called Promises to Keep, there's a title right out of Orwell, does not mention the Naval Academy. Others have pointed out that the U.S. military was heavily involved in the Vietnam War by the mid-1960s, and had Joe Biden attended the academy, he would have had to serve in the Navy upon graduation. Right, except that Biden received 5 student draft deferments during his 4 years at the University of Delaware and subsequent 3 years at the Syracuse University College of Law. Now, this created some awkward moments for new White House flack Karine Jean-Pierre, who had to claim that she didn't hear Joe Biden's statement, despite it being at the very top of the president's speech. Have a look.
During his address at the Naval Academy. The president was born in 1942, graduated from the University of Delaware in 1965. In his address, he said he was appointed to the Naval Academy in 1965. Was he? Was it in 1965?
So I did not hear that part of the speech, so I would have to. Okay, I missed it. No, I hear you. I hear you. I have not. I need to read it myself and just go back and see what you're talking about exactly. I can't speak to it right now.
Yeah, she can't speak to it right now. I don't know. It's all too hard for her. Anyway, I don't know what is scarier, when Biden and his lackeys are lying or when they are not. Now, have a listen to Joe Biden's hand-picked Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, admitting what everyone else has known for months about inflation after being questioned by, of all people, CNN's Wolf Blitzer, someone else who has never shied away from carrying water for the Biden administration.
Is it a mistake, Madam Secretary, to downplay this inflation risk? Did that contribute to the problems we're all seeing right now?
Well, look, I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take. As I mentioned, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that have boosted energy and food prices.
I swear this administration is making the gerontocracy of the old Soviet Union look young and dynamic because, who could have foreseen that printing trillions of dollars and shoving them into the economy in the form of stimulus might, reduce the purchasing power of those very dollars, causing wild inflation. Yes, the country is in the very best of hands, and it's so obvious now that even CNN and the Washington Post are taking notice.
That's all I want to present. Americans are sick of Biden's lies. That's a whole bunch of shit on Biden. I could show you all the white folks shit all day, but this is all I'm going to present today. Please feel free to like the video, share it, and until then, y'all be easy. Peace.